Imagine investing all your effort into gaining a woman's respect, only to watch it vanish despite everything you've done. Many men fall into the trap of thinking that constant kindness, expensive gifts, and non-stop attention are the keys to admiration. That couldn't be further from the truth. Here's the harsh reality. This strategy not only backfires, but often leads to emotional collapse. In today's video, we'll dismantle this belief using the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, combined with real-world advice. We're diving into how you can end a woman's disregard for you and make her truly regret it all, without losing your self-worth or peace of mind. This isn't about manipulation or revenge. It's about reclaiming your dignity and establishing strong boundaries. Get ready to challenge the status quo and take control of your life. This message isn't for the weak-hearted, it's for those ready to live with self-respect and emotional strength. If you're prepared to reclaim your power and command the respect you deserve, hit like, subscribe, and let's begin. Number 1. The well has run dry. Let's not sugarcoat it. This needs to be said plainly. You are the reason she no longer respects you. Why? Because you placed her above yourself. You showered her with gifts, gave her non-stop attention, and made promises that lacked substance. You convinced yourself that these actions would somehow win her respect back. But here's the cold truth. This mindset is flawed and destined to fail. Every time you use your money to satisfy her demands or sacrifice your time and energy to please her, you're sending the wrong message. You're teaching her that you're easily controlled, that a little coldness or emotional distance on her part is enough to make you chase after her even harder. She knows that all she has to do is act indifferent, and you'll come running. She's not clueless. She knows exactly how to play this game. And the more you feed into it, the deeper you sink into emotional dependence. From a Stoic perspective, this is more than just poor decision-making. It's a complete surrender of your inner power. Stoicism reminds us that real validation must come from within. Chasing after someone who only respects you when you give them something, that's not love or admiration. It's manipulation. As long as you keep giving in, you're just fueling a toxic dynamic. So, what's the solution? Cut the supply. Stop giving your time, money, and energy to someone who clearly doesn't appreciate it. Once the benefits stop flowing, her control begins to fade. When she realizes her tricks no longer work, she'll be thrown off balance. She starts wondering why you're not reacting the way you used to. This is when everything shifts. A man rooted in Stoic strength doesn't fall for shallow interest or attention bought with material things. You must develop the emotional awareness to recognize this and act accordingly. Stop being the ATM. Stop being the doormat. Walk away from the woman who only gives you disdain. You're not only preventing further humiliation, you're standing up for your own self-worth. If you keep chasing her validation with gifts and desperation, you're signing up for a life of pain. She continued taking advantage of you, knowing there are no consequences. And the only person responsible for that will be you. Number 2. To master the power of indifference. From a young age, we're taught to ignore bad behavior and reward good behavior. It's how we train pets, guide children, and manage relationships. But when it comes to romantic relationships, many men forget this golden rule. Let's go back to Stoic teachings, which emphasize emotional discipline, self-control, and inner strength. When a woman begins to show you disrespect, most men panic. They chase after her, thinking their connection is slipping through their fingers. That's the moment where most go wrong. Instead of reacting emotionally, the Stoic approach is to remain indifferent. This isn't weakness, this is strength. Picture this. You're dating someone who starts putting you down or treating you with contempt. Your knee-jerk reaction might be to work harder to please her, thinking it will fix things. But all that does is reinforce her behavior. You're telling her without saying a word that no matter how she treats you, you'll keep coming back for more. That's dangerous. Instead, withdraw your attention. Become indifferent, not just to the way she's acting, but to the person she's showing herself to be. This is when she loses the upper hand. People who are used to being in control hate being ignored. When you no longer respond to her games, she realizes something's changed. Her usual tactics aren't working. Friends may have told her to test you, or she might have learned these tricks online, but now they're failing. The more you distance yourself, the more power you regain. She starts to see that instead of reeling you in, her behavior is driving you further away. That realization, it can trigger real change. She might begin to reconsider how she's treating you, not because she's suddenly transformed, but because she realizes she's at risk of losing someone valuable. If you want her to regret not respecting you, here's the strategy. Stop giving attention to those who don't earn it. Show through your behavior that you won't be used, manipulated, or controlled. Once she sees your focus is gone, your energy withdrawn, she feel the sting of losing your interest. That's when the regret hits. At that point, it's her responsibility to step up, prove her respect, and value who you are. And if she doesn't, you're already prepared to walk awake and grounded, and fully aware of your worth. That's the Stoic way: emotional mastery, and the refusal to be anyone's puppet. Number 3, take back your personal power. When a woman dismisses your emotions or treats you as if your feelings are worthless, it might seem like her opinion defines your value, but that's not what's happening. What's really going on is that you're handing her your power. You're letting her influence your thoughts, control your emotions, and shape your actions. That's not love. That's surrender. Stoic philosophy teaches us to maintain control over our inner world. No matter what's happening around us, it's about mastering your thoughts, guarding your energy, and standing firm in your own identity. The turning point comes the moment you decide to reclaim control over your own life. That decision, that shift, is where your true strength begins. Understand this fundamental Stoic truth. No one has the right to diminish your worth or treat you as though you're not deserving of respect. Marcus Aurelius, a legendary Stoic philosopher, reminds us that our power lies in mastering our own mind, not the world around us. Once you absorb this, you begin to see her disrespect for what it truly isn't: external event. It doesn't define you unless you let it. To reclaim your strength, it's essential to reassess what truly matters and draw clear, immovable lines in your life. Don't allow her disregard to shape your choices or determine your worth. You owe no explanations, especially not to someone who can't see your value. What truly matters is your inherent self-worth, something unshaken by anyone's opinion. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond, that defines you." This isn't about revenge or being rude, it's about rising above pettiness. Stoicism teaches us to focus on growth, on clarity, and on never settling for less than we deserve. When you focus inward on your own improvement, you begin to see clearly. You realize your worth was never in her hands to begin with. The moment you stop needing her validation, you take back your strength. And ironically, that's when the script flips. She starts to notice the control she once had is gone. She feels the emptiness where your attention used to be. Here's what matters most. When you step into your power, you attract the kind of people who honor you, people who don't build themselves up by tearing others down. This is the true path to emotional freedom. This is how healthy relationships begin. Number 4, move on. Here is a Stoic truth few want to face. When a woman disrespects you, it's often because she believes she holds sway over your emotions. She senses your attachment, your willingness to chase, to compromise, and she uses it to her advantage. But here's the truth. It's on you for allowing this dynamic to continue. Stoicism teaches us that control over our own mind and behavior is everything. You can't control how others act, but you always control how you respond. To escape this cycle, you must prove to both her and yourself that you are not tethered to her treatment. You have options, and you're not afraid to use them. Too many men live in emotional dependence, always available, always waiting, always hoping. This only reinforces her belief that she can treat you however she wants without consequence. The Stoic response: stand firm in your values. Make it clear that you want a connection built on respect, not control. If she plays games, belittles you, or tests your self-worth, let her go. Don't hesitate. Shift your energy toward someone who respects your principles and values you as a man. This is not a game. It's a declaration, a statement of strength and self-worth. By walking away, you send a powerful message. I know my value and I won't accept anything less. If she truly cares, she will feel the shift. She sees that her disrespect is driving you away. And when you're willing to walk, her control vanishes. Picture yourself calmly and confidently, telling her you won't be a second thought. You want something meaningful, and if she can't meet you with respect, you're done. That moment, that's power. That's where the balance flips. You're no longer the one begging. You're the one standing tall and shaken. When she sees this, regret often follows. She begins to recognize what she's losing, and if she wants your respect again, she realizes it must be earned. This isn't about pretending to be unavailable. It's about actually respecting yourself enough to walk away from mistreatment. The most important person in this equation is you. You deserve a relationship where you're appreciated, not dismissed. Walking away isn't weakness, it's strength. It's you choosing a life aligned with your values. Number 5, embrace the power of letting go. This may be the hardest step. It's also the one that sets you free. Letting her go is not a loss, it's liberation. In Stoicism, we're taught that we must never allow external circumstances to rob us of our peace. If you're constantly disrespected or made to feel small, that's not a relationship, it's a warning. And if you ignore that warning, pain will only grow. Fear of loneliness keeps many men stuck, but clinging to what's broken only holds you back. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It's knowing your worth. It's an act of self-respect, a clear statement. I will no longer allow myself to be disrespected. The hesitation comes from fear. Fear that you won't find someone better. Fear that you'll be alone. But those fears, they're illusions. When you let go, you make space for something better. Someone better. Someone who respects you without you having to earn it through sacrifice. And ironically, it's often after you've let go that she finally sees what she lost. She feels the silence, the void, and if there was any real feeling left, she regrets what she did. But don't let that be your goal. Letting go isn't about making her regret, it's about setting yourself free. Free from manipulation, free from emotional exhaustion, free from needing someone who never truly saw you. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our choices, our mindset. By letting go, you take your power back. You stop being controlled by her moods, her games, her absence. You step into clarity and peace. This isn't just walking away, it's walking towards something better, a stronger you, a healthier life, a future rooted in self-respect. So don't let fear stop you. Letting go could be the moment everything changes. It might be the beginning of the life you've always deserved. Have the courage to release what no longer serves you. And you'll soon discover that life has something far greater in store for you. The most powerful realization: you were never truly alone. By letting go of what no longer aligns with your worth, you're actually creating space for new opportunities, genuine connections, and a life where you're truly seen and appreciated. In the end, real power isn't about making her regret walking away. It's about finding the strength to move forward with pride and unwavering self-respect. Number 6, build a life that stands on its own. One of the biggest pitfalls many men fall into is revolving their entire identity around a relationship. When faced with rejection or disrespect, the natural reaction is often to try harder, sacrificing more, proving more, hoping it'll fix things. But that thinking is a trap, one that Stoic philosophy warns against. The core lesson from Stoicism is this: direct your focus only to what's in your control, and let go of what isn't. When your entire existence orbits around a relationship that no longer honors you, you hand over your power voluntarily to someone who doesn't value it. That's not strength, that's self-abandonment. Here's something to think about. Imagine being a master craftsman with the ability to create something truly remarkable. Instead of using your talent, you're obsessively trying to fix a broken tool that can no longer perform. The longer you spend trying to repair it, the less time you have to create something meaningful. The same goes for a relationship that's become a source of emotional turmoil. You lose yourself trying to fix what isn't meant to last. The Stoic path: pour that energy back into you, expand your skills, grow in your career, dive into passions that light you up, spend time with people who inspire you. In doing so, you prove to yourself, most of all, that your fulfillment doesn't depend on anyone else. And here's the twist: once she sees that you're no longer the man begging for crumbs of attention, but instead someone living with purpose and strength, she may begin to question how she ever took you for granted. But make no mistake, the real win isn't in her change of heart, it's in your transformation. When you build a life that's meaningful and whole without needing her in it, you regain clarity. Whether you choose to offer her another chance or walk away entirely, you'll do it on your terms. Stoicism teaches that true strength lies within. When you focus on your actions, your growth, and your mindset, you free yourself. And in that freedom, you become someone others naturally respect. You won't need to ask for respect anymore. You'll command it simply by the way you live. In number 7, master the art of detachment. One of the most effective responses to being dismissed or disrespected by a woman is learning true detachment, a powerful concept at the heart of Stoic thinking. Now, this isn't about pretending not to care. It's about achieving real emotional independence, a shift in mindset, a redefinition of how you see yourself in the relationship. Let's be honest, detachment isn't easy, especially when emotions run deep. You might still care about her, but here's the hard truth. The Stoics would give you your peace of mind must never be held hostage by someone else's behavior. Detachment is your key to taking back control of your feelings and of the situation itself. Picture this. She's used to pulling your emotional strings, knowing you'll always come running the moment she withdraws. That kind of power can be intoxicating for her. When a woman sees that she can no longer control your emotions, it forces her to reevaluate everything. Your calm indifference becomes a mirror, making her reflect on how she treated you. Suddenly, the games she played and the disrespect she showed become real consequences. Losing someone she assumed would always be there. People rarely appreciate what they once took for granted until it's gone. Remaining emotionally detached isn't about being cold, it's about reclaiming your dignity. It's about showing that you're not someone who dances to another's emotional tune, but a man who knows his worth and refuses to be manipulated. Once she realizes you're truly going, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally at places, her in a situation she never expected, wanting you back, so hold your ground in silence. Let your steady actions and calm presence do the talking. That quiet strength doesn't just earn back control, it commands respect. This is Stoic wisdom in action, perfectly adapted to modern relationships. When you master your emotions, you mastered the entire situation. Number 8. The power of self-respect. Let's make something clear. The most powerful way to make someone regret not respecting you is to respect yourself first, deeply and unapologetically. From a Stoic perspective, how people treat you often mirrors how you treat yourself. If you've tolerated disrespect, it's not just a reflection of their behavior, it also reveals what you've allowed. Stoicism teaches one simple truth: while you can't control others, you absolutely control how you respond. Regaining respect starts with refusing to tolerate anything less than you deserve. When your self-respect rises, you raise the bar. People either meet it or fall away. This isn't about arrogance, it's about value, knowing your worth and refusing to accept less. Check your boundaries. Are they solid? Do they truly reflect the respect you hold for yourself? If someone constantly crosses the line, manipulates you, belittles you, a Stoic man addresses it without drama. You might calmly say, "I care about us, but I care about myself too. What's happening now doesn't reflect the respect I expect." That one clear statement shifts everything. It tells her your standards are non-negotiable. And often, that's the moment she starts to realize just how serious you are and how far she's gone. Your silence, your boundaries, your strength, they all send a message she can't ignore. In the end, respect is earned, not begged for, but it starts with you. When you deeply honor your own value, others are forced to respect. They're removed from your life. Prioritize yourself. Here's the final and perhaps most powerful truth: you must come first. This is the hardest step for many men, putting themselves before someone else's approval or validation. But if you've been battling for respect, constantly seeking it from someone who refuses to give it, then it's time to face the truth. No one should have to beg to be valued. The real choice isn't about whether she sees your worth, it's whether you do. Choosing yourself is the boldest decision you'll ever make. It's a declaration that your self-worth isn't negotiable, that you won't exchange your dignity for scraps of attention or temporary affection. It tells the world, "I am enough, I am whole. I will only accept what uplifts, respects, and honors me." And that, right there, is the final strike. When you choose yourself over disrespect, over games, over emotional manipulation, you break free. You step out of the toxic cycle. You reclaim your peace, and finally, you give yourself the chance to become who you were meant to be. Choose yourself and stop accepting less than you deserve. The moment you put yourself first, you start a powerful journey where you're no longer a side character. You become the center of your own story. Your dreams, your peace, and your well-being finally take the lead. Stoicism teaches us this simple truth: your power comes from mastering your reactions, not from controlling others. Walking away from someone who disrespects you isn't weakness, it's strength. It's about self-leadership, about taking charge of what you can actually control: your thoughts, your actions, and your self-respect. Picture this: you've been giving your all to someone who barely even sees your effort. They expect you to always be there, available, waiting, loyal. But now you shift your energy. You stop chasing, and instead, you start building. You pursue your passions, protect your peace, and surround yourself with people who genuinely care. Suddenly, everything changes. The one who once overlooked you starts to feel your absence. They recognize what they've lost. But you haven't done this to make them feel regretted, did it to reclaim yourself. And that is how you truly make someone regret not valuing you, not through force or manipulation, but through transformation. As you elevate your standards, those who never appreciated you fall away, and in their place, people who respect and value you step in. That shift, it starts from within. No one else can create it for you. The choice to grow, to rise, to walk with dignity, that's all yours. Here's what matters: the love, respect, and honor you seek should never require struggle. They should come naturally. The most powerful move you can make is to stop settling. Once you do that, the entire energy around your life begins to change. Those who fail to see your worth will fade, and those who recognize your value will move closer. That kind of transformation doesn't start in others. It begins with you. You hold the key. You shape your life. You define your worth. If you're still with us, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with the words "put myself first" to let us know this message spoke to you. Your voice matters. It helps us bring more powerful content to those who need it. Now, let's keep going. We've explored some deep truths today. Practical Stoic wisdom for anyone ready to take back their power in relationships. Remember this: respect isn't something you plead for. It's something you embody through self-worth and staying true to your values. Stoicism isn't just a theory, it's a way of life. It teaches you to stay grounded, to focus only on what you can control: your attitude, your effort, your boundaries, and the real value of who you are. It never comes from someone else's approval. It comes from within. When you live by these principles, your relationships shift. They're no longer about needing validation. They're about showing yourself the respect you've always